Bulletcast for life.
Get up! This is a revolution! This is our time to rise! Look deep within your mind, look deep into the hate in my eyes. We are the elite, and you are the weak. No matter how hard I fall, I'll get back up on my feet. Red alert, this is gonna hurt. When your face is in the dirt, you'll know your death is what I seek. We are the elite, and you are the weak, and I will always get back up on my feet. Why are they alive?
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, the microphone messiah. I am back with BT, Brandon Tanguma. Marlee will be joining us via satellite yet again, but nonetheless, 2 out of the 3 together isn't bad. What's going on, Brandon?
What's up? I'm back from excursion after missing my past 2 weeks. Loving that we're back here somewhat live and in person. As in person as we do. We don't go to the studio anymore, so doing a Zoom is as close as you guys are going to get.
Yes, I mean we had many incarnations. We celebrated the 8-year anniversary. We really didn't even talk about that. Yeah, man, 8 years. How do you feel?
I mean, I'm old. Now I'm 30. 8 years, which means it's been 8 years since I went to SF State because Phillip, texted me. He's like, "Oh, I'm doing this podcast thing. You want to go?" Because he was still at Chabot, and then I was at SF State, and then here we are.
Yep, here we are. We're still trudging along.
But we love every second of it. We're here to give you guys another episode.
Absolutely, most definitely. Let's get into all of that. Outside the ring, Ryan Nemeth has an AEW lawsuit.
Yeah, so if you guys all remember, stemming from whenever that was, like 2023, when the whole CM Punk thing was going on, he's alleging that there's some stuff that happened where CM Punk like approached him and threatened him, and he got like blackballed from the company. I don't know exactly what it's called, but like if you read like the deposition or like the reasoning for the lawsuit, it is pretty funny. Like he's also insinuating that AEW is just like a thing for Tony Khan because his dad doesn't want him in charge of like the Jaguars because all the Jaguars players hate him. Yeah, it's definitely something.
Crazy.
CM Punk and Tony Khan are defendants. So if this thing does go to trial, they're going to be like together, even though I doubt they'll have very much interaction outside of like their lawyers talking to each other. But, the Ryan Nemeth thing happened. We kind of like forgot about it. He's on TNA with his brother. And now we're resurfacing this again. So we'll see how far this goes. If it's settled, thrown out, we'll see what happens.
The Hollywood Hunk is on TNA, huh?
Yep. I watched the product. AKA I watched like one episode a couple weeks ago, and he was there.
He just so happened to be on it.
Well, no, he was there because Nick Nemeth, former TNA champion, was there, and his whole shtick is like Ryan's shtick is like he wants to be like his brother, or like he's trying to be like his brother or something, but yet no one cares about him. They just care about Nick.
That's crazy. That's unfortunate. All right, let's see. Carmella's WWE contract is up. It's come to an end, so that's the end of Mella is Money, huh?
Yeah, so sad. She had a baby. I don't know how recently it was, but there's been rumor and innuendo that she was going to come back, and it just never really came to fruition. Obviously, married, at least has a child with Corey Graves.
Yeah.
And
Bro, all this was on their reality show. You didn't watch?
They had a reality show
on YouTube, bro. Oh my god!
Oh, sorry.
This guy.
If it's not on the
Grayson Maurice, all that, but not. Wow.
If it's not on the Entertainment Network, then I'm not watching it.
Is E Network still a thing?
I think it's still a thing.
Or are they just running Kardashians reruns?
Well, the Kardashians aren't on there anymore. Now they're on Hulu.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. I remember for the longest time, like E Network would just be like the Kardashians and like E True Hollywood Story. Basically, like how MTV is just ridiculousness and wild and out. That was what was going on the E Network for like a period of time.
Yeah, I mean, Carmella, I think she said she was like gonna do a podcast. I haven't heard anything about that, but it seems very similar to like the Sonya Deville situation, to where like her contract was coming up and maybe she just kind of thought they were going to renew, and then they just said, "Yeah, no, we don't want you anymore." So that's kind of the cutthroat nature of the WWE TKO era. We're
What was
seeing a
the
lot more.
last thing she did?
Well, let's go to Carmella's cage match and see
I
see
remember
what was she
she,
doing.
she was tag champs with Selena Vega. I think that might have been the last thing. That might have been the last thing. Is that it?
Let's see. Her last match was a house show
Okay.
on March 12th, 2023. Um, that was like a big tag match. She had a match on Raw the week before that where she lost to Bianca Belair. She lost to Asuka. She lost oh, Elimination Chamber 2023. She lost the number one contenders Elimination Chamber match where Asuka won. Carmella, Liv Morgan, Natalia, Nikki Cross, and Raquel Rodriguez were all involved.
Okay. And then when was she the tag champion? Was that 2022?
Let's see when. That's for the women's title.
Women's
Women's
tag.
title, women's title, women's title, women's tag title. Uh,
When
yes,
does
she lost it on April 3rd, 2022.
Jesus.
Naomi and Sasha Banks beat. That's when Naomi and Sasha Banks won the tag titles, taking them off of Carmella and Queen Zelina. And that
Jesus.
was at WrestleMania,
Okay. Okay.
WrestleMania
Yeah,
38.
I mean, Carmella, she had some big moments. I mean, the heel run, the Money in the Bank run, being the woman's champion, the whole James Ellsworth of it all. We were there when she won the 24/7 championship.
Never forget.
Come on now, history. Then she came back and kind of did the model gimmick that Vince was trying to get over with somebody for a long period of time. I feel like she did all right with it, you know. But always the queen of Staten Island, the moonwalking, trash talking, shout out Carmella. Hopefully she'll do something else in wrestling. You said she's starting a podcast.
She said she was gonna like talk about it on a podcast, but
Oh,
that
okay.
was like last week, and I thought it was like gonna be this weekend, and I haven't seen any clips of it. So
Well, speaking of podcasts, apparently Stephanie McMahon is starting a WWE podcast. It's supposed to be going on in the spring. Mhm.
another podcast for people to listen to. I don't know what this would entail. Um, is it like a strictly I would not think it's a strictly WWE wrestling style podcast. I know she's like into health and fitness and all that stuff, so probably it's gonna go into that and it's gonna be like an all,
She may
you know,
just
a
interview.
catch-all podcast.
She may just interview wrestlers about health and fitness like that. That may be it.
Yeah, I mean, if there's like a big name or if this ends up changing the world of entertainment and podcasting, maybe I'll take a listen, but I'm not holding high
Changing the
hopes.
world. Will it change the world? Will it do it? Will it do it?
Well, she might be able to get an inside scoop on the Department of Education cabinet member, Linda
Oh,
McMahon.
oh Jesus! Oh Jesus! Hey,
Get
hey.
that, get her on the podcast.
Well, possibly. All right, let's get into the fan mail real quick. We got fan mail from Brightest Day X.
Mr. X.
Well, as you may or may not have heard, I went to NXT on Tuesday. To be honest, I wasn't planning on going. I had already gone to Dynamite in January, and WWE tickets are a bit more expensive than AEW tickets. Yeah. By the way, AEW will be in the Oracle Arena on Saturday. Go get your tickets. I'm sure they're affordable. But
Yes, they are. I just checked them yesterday.
when I saw the Hardys would be making their WWE return in my neck of the woods, well, I would have been kicking myself if I didn't go. It turned out to be one of the best seats I've ever had at a wrestling show. It's also interesting to see which wrestlers I'm as tall or taller than, or maybe even a little shorter than. A fun little side story: the guy sitting next to me said he came in wearing an AEW jacket. One of the WWE security said that if he needed to go to the bathroom, he suggests he use the jacket to as the bathroom. If you catch my drift. Okay, I see what he's saying. Wow, that's crazy. It appears that the former corporate champ has become the new corporation. Will Cody take over as the new corporate champion? We'll talk about that. And I still say that Naomi is the one behind what happened to Jade, and I feel that losing the tag titles adds to this conspiracy. Well, we're gonna talk about all of that's going on. Let's get into Monday Night or SmackDown. The Rock wants Cody Soul, bro. How do you feel?
I mean, The Rock, once again, he did it again. He throws the WrestleMania season in a tizzy. Now, this time, there's not a clear and obvious thing that was going to happen at WrestleMania this year, so it's not as big of a deal that he did this, but it's just fascinating that he did this again for the second year in a row. And, the promo itself, I thought it was just completely convoluted all over the place. He was like a heel 1 minute and then a babyface the next minute. And then it finally got like intriguing the final 45 seconds of this 27-minute promo when he said he wants Cody's soul. So I just honestly the in-ring stuff is not really as compelling, just like the outside corporate whatever Dwayne Johnson is doing right now is way more intriguing, and like the way that Triple H Paul Levesque has to like navigate all this and how this probably stems from like 25 years ago when The Rock was not a fan of the Click and the Click didn't like The Rock, and now The Rock is getting his lick back of kind of getting one over on Triple H right now. It's all fascinating.
I don't think it runs that deep, guys.
It does run that. You're telling me The Rock doesn't get a little joy in knowing that he can, change Triple H's plans at the drop of a hat?
We don't know that. We don't know that.
We don't know that, but I can infer. I
How?
can insinuate.
Insinu-
Recklessly question. That's what I'm here to do on this podcast.
Nobody asked him this at that press conference that happened after SmackDown.
Well, I'm pretty sure they ain't asking no all the questions up there are just lollipops and rainbows. You're not allowed to ask about a certain lawsuit, or else someone will just be like, "Oh, well, I haven't done my research, and it's a complicated situation, and I'm just not going to comment at this time."
You're not asking about a lawsuit. You're asking about, hey, are you doing this because you're upset about something that happened 30 years ago? It's just that.
I'm not saying that's the main motivation. It's just little cherry on top.
Uh,
Come on,
but
we all like the pettiness around here. We like petty.
I'm as petty as they come. Hello, but yeah, Rock wants Cody's soul, bro. How do you feel? How do you feel about that?
Um, I mean, we'll get into it at the Elimination Chamber preview of what we think might happen, but um, I don't know. It's weird. Like it's still, as much as I kind of am burying The Rock, it's like it's still The Rock, and it's fun to see him out there. And this isn't going to lead to a match. It seems like The Rock was pretty clear about that in his like little softball press conference he had. But if he's like you know over the shoulder of Cody, and if Cody does turn or he chooses somebody else and they go up against Rock and they go up against Cody, because currently like none of the matches really intrigue me. Like you have to do that match, and so if you add The Rock to that dynamic, maybe it boosts it up a little bit. So as much as I'm kind of, intrigued on the outside nature of all
Bro,
this
no,
stuff,
they didn't. They really got a "I want your soul" T-shirt.
they have t-shirts for everything.
That's crazy. That is hilarious. Oh man, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. That's just funny to me. Um,
Also, congratulations, New Orleans. You get WrestleMania for like the fourth time in like 12 years.
it's the third time, brother. Yes, congratulations, WrestleMania New Orleans. Was it April 11th and 12th? You going to NOLA? We going to NOLA? We're going to NOLA. We're going to NOLA, baby.
Maybe. I mean, I was supposed to go to New Orleans in 2020 before a little flu happened, but
It's good. It's good. It's
unfortunate.
good. What's up? You going to Las Vegas?
Probably not. The percentages keep going down and down as the days go on.
So that's a no.
Probably not. That's probably not. It's probably a no.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Inside the ring, Ricky Saints makes his NXT debut. Big tag team win. Along with that, Moose retained the X Division title against Lexus King, and the Hardy Boys retained the TNA tag titles. Thoughts on all this going on in NXT?
Yeah, NXT's it's doing it as much as, maybe like the ins and outs might be a little wonky, but they got some stars. They also set up a title for title match with Julie and Stephanie Vakir. Allegedly, Julie might be going through some things, so maybe Stephanie, gets the title and she's going to be the double champ going into Stand and Deliver. Um, Hardy Boy's coming back. It was a moment. Shout out Mr. X. It seemed like he had a good time. And Moose, it seems as though they're maybe setting up a Moose versus Obafemi thing. And I'd just like to point out, check the tape. I was higher on Obafemi than Trick Williams, and I just like to think my stock has risen, and that was a good choice on my part. So I'd like to give a point on that.
Point for what?
Just calling Obafemi over Trick Williams, which is it's not a done deal yet, but it's looking pretty good. The Obafemi stock has risen quite substantially in the past year.
Uh, well, yeah. I mean, it has. I don't know what's Trick doing now, man. I mean, he's kind of showing
He's
a
just
different side of himself.
languishing away. He's like losing. He's possibly turning heel, which
He got
like
whipped during Black History Month. It's crazy.
they do this in NXT where like they just turn people kind of like maybe to see what they got. Like with Roxanne. Like Roxanne Perez should not be a heel. She should be a babyface.
It's
But
worked out.
but like they turn her and they turn other people, I think, just to because it's still developmental and they want to see what they can do in the heel role when it's still NXT. People are watching it. That there's going to be people on the people in the main roster who see this and they're going to get a certain way they look at the person if they turn heel. And I just think Trick is currently should not be a heel. He should be a babyface, and he
Well,
hasn't turned yet, but
well,
it's
can he be
kind
an
of leaning in that
aggressive
direction.
babyface? Can he do that?
I mean, he can be an aggressive babyface, but he was already kind of an aggressive babyface.
Was he?
I mean, he get up. I mean, he's got the size.
He saw more of a kind of like a just a fun loving. I'm gonna be the fighting champ kind of guy. Um, like the thing going on with the Street Profits. I feel like they're aggressive baby faces now. I think he may just fall into that. You know.
I think the Street Profits. Well, it's kind of weird because like the teams they're feuding with, but, machine guns are clear baby faces. So,
Yeah.
but I think they're trying to be more of a heel because they tried it with Lashley, and that got canned very quickly.
Yeah, but Lashley hurts people.
He's a tag team champion.
Come on now. Hello. Let's get into Monday Night Raw. We have new tag champs. Speaking of all these tag teams and tag titles, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I believe they both are the first ever three-time women's WWE tag team champions, taking the titles off of Bianca Belair and Naomi. Hell of a match. Thought it was over multiple times. I mean, the code breaker spot, the Oblivion, the KOD, Dom getting involved, Raquel pulling Naomi's foot, smashing her head on the LED post, all the while to let Liv Morgan roll her up. And we have new tag champs. Thoughts on this match? It was very good. Hell of a main event.
Yeah, I thought there was a lot of good near falls where you thought it was definitely over, but they did the save at the last second. Some good action. I thought it was a solid match. And just like what Mr. X said, you get Liv and Raquel to get the tag titles off of Bianca and Naomi. I think that opens up maybe one of them to win the chamber. Well, I think. Well, we'll get to our preview in a little bit, but I think this does open up for the Jade situation, maybe unfair you know, to occur, and whatever. I think it's more about whatever Bianca might be doing at WrestleMania. You catch my drift.
Yeah. Who do you think was the better tag partner for Bianca, Jade or Naomi?
I mean, I probably would say Jade because I felt like they had more of an aura about them, even though maybe,
I feel like the chemistry with Bianca and Naomi was just it, though.
I was going to say that, even though in ring wise, I think definitely Naomi and Bianca were the better pairing. But, you know, it is what it is ultimately. And I think we're going to get something on the Jade front soon.
Yeah, I'm sure the Elimination Chamber is going to be it. I feel like there's going to be a couple returns at the Elimination Chamber. What'd you feel about the promo between Logan Paul and CM Punk?
It was a solid promo. Them interacting again. Uh, I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of like standard stuff, kind of building up the Elimination Chamber and kind of each guy establishing their motivations. I wonder. I would love to get CM Punk to actually say what he really feels about Logan Paul off air, but because I would not be shocked if it's not flattering. But
About how was he banned in Egypt or something?
and Japan. Well, I don't know if he's banned in Japan still, but
What did he do in Japan?
well, I mean, you have to be living in Iraq if you don't know what Logan Paul did in Japan. Uh,
No, no, for real. What did he do in Japan?
well, let's just say, just type up Logan Paul Japan Forest, and everything will come up. Will come up for you there, buddy.
You
Uh,
say countless outlandish things on this podcast. This is the one time you choose to not say anything.
well, I mean, I think people who know, and I think it's a situation that's
Oh my god.
very well known and has been going on for.
Is my algorithm gonna get messed up because I'm looking this up?
No, I mean, it's a if everyone kind of knows. Well, I thought everyone knew about Logan Paul in Japan, but
Japan what? Just type in Logan Paul Japan.
yeah, let's see what happens if I type in Logan Paul Japan.
What the hell?
Oh, well, apparently it comes up.
Wait.
All the nice things
Popular
Philip has ever
blogger.
said have about Logan Paul are going to be thrown out the window right now because he did not know about what took place. I don't even know at this point. 7 years ago, 10 years ago. It's been a long ass time. But anyways, back to the CM Punk Logan Paul situation. It was solid. It makes you want to see a match between them eventually later on down the road. And the slap was snug. I don't know how much of that was real legit blood on CM Punk's mouth, or if he
That's crazy.
took a little capsule and
Hold on, hold on, hold
got
on.
a little
Hold
trickle of
on, hold
blood.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Philip
This is,
Philip would like to make a statement about something that happened eons ago.
bruh. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't pay attention to Logan Paul till he got here, bruh. You know how I am. You know how I am. If
I'm
I
out
know,
here teaching Philip Logan Paul, Suicide Forest, and Shohei Ohtani. That's just what I'm here for.
if I know who you are, you somewhat of a big deal. You know what I'm saying? If I really know who you are, oh, you're Mage without a shadow of a doubt. This is some of the craziest shit I've ever read. And they're making jokes about it. What the hell? That's wild. But yeah, the CM Punk Logan Paul of it all. I mean, Punk doing what Punk does. I I feel like Punk could have got away with, saying certain things about Logan Paul. He knows the line. He knows like not certain lines not to cross and certain lines to, could have tip over the edge of.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I would not be shocked if we get a Logan Paul CM Punk match within the next year or two. So he can cross the line then.
Yeah. Cody and Seth have a promo. Says, I hope, or not. He says, not slapping the rock in the face is a slap in my face. I did not sacrifice everything at WrestleMania 40 to help you win that title for you just to, um, basically disregard your morals and everything like that. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I think this promo was just strictly kind of a time filler to get to the Elimination Chamber because Cody, like he obviously he didn't like say yes or no, but he kind of said what you thought he was gonna say of like, I got to think about it because I got a wife and a kid, I got a family. My dad was broke when he was 60 wrestling the Indies. I don't want to be like that. But he didn't say which way he was leaning. He was just kind of speaking matter of factly and just kind of saying facts. So, and then, sat out there dressed in whatever the hell he was wearing, trying to convince Cody. And it was fine, but I already knew that like you weren't going to get an answer. We were going to have to wait for Elimination Chamber for that. So it was just filler.
So what are we doing? We're doing WrestleMania 17 type deal. Who's turning? Does in the final year of John Cena's career, does he do the unthinkable and shake hands with the final boss at the end of WrestleMania 41?
I don't know.
Does John Cena have a quick like 5 month run as a heel, then turn back into a babyface enough time to retire? Is that what's gonna happen? Or does Cody Rhodes sell his soul to the final boss?
I mean, I don't say people are turning on John Cena, but they're definitely disappointed that this farewell tour has only resulted in 3 appearances.
I mean, that's pretty. Hollywood Cena. I mean, really, that's pretty heelish.
Um, everything's very close to the vest. We still don't really know exactly what the plan is. Like, would Cena put his foot down if this whole time it was Cena versus Cody, and The Rock gets involved somehow, and Cena was like, "Look, I know I normally don't flex my political muscle outside of Wade Barrett and the Nexus all those years ago,
What
but
happened there?
basically John Cena was like, I got to go over, brother."
I mean, I've always heard this. I kind of want to hear Cena's side of it. Like that's one thing he's never asked. Like I'm gonna hear like what the hell happened here.
But anyways, this is where I draw the line. Dwayne, you can't let me have my moments. You gotta butt in. But like I said, the outside palace intrigue is, I think, way more intriguing than what's actually going on inside that 20 by 20 ring.
Let's be like he could say something like number 17 was guaranteed because of the final boss or something like that. I don't know. It's interesting, man. We'll see what comes of it. I mean, I'm sure I'd like for Cody to, be out there during the chamber, maybe on commentary or something. I heard that theory from a different podcast. And the final boss come out there after the person wins and whatnot. I think there could be some good business there. Yeah.
I mean, so we can do a little pre-elimination chamber preview. What do you actually think is going to happen with this promo segment? Like, is Cody just going to straight up say no? Is he going to say yes? Is it going to be like that straightforward, or is it going to be a little more ambiguous?
He's probably going to say no, and then he's going to get whipped in the rain again.
Cody. Yeah. Cody needs to check the Toronto weather before he says something. If it's raining, say yes.
All right. Moments. Right. AEW happened, right?
It did happen live from San Diego, California. We kicked it off with an MJF Hangman. Well, Hangman had a match and he just beat poor Aaron Solo. And Hangman wins.
Shout out Aaron Solo, Bay Area native.
Shout out. MJF got his AEW tattoo removed. So
wait, hold on.
That didn't last long.
You just go and glaze over what happened, what they cut to after Hangman.
Well, I forgot that was like later in the show. I was trying to put them all together, but yes, MJF comes out and he beat up Christopher Daniels, and then they cut to Christopher Daniels, who's clearly gigging himself, and he's just bleeding all over. Like, how does that even how does that make air? Like, I understand maybe it was live, but like, come on, people, what are we doing?
That's been. I've seen that clip more times in the past, like what 14 hours than I've seen like most of AEW in quite some time. I'm gonna be real. There are things that I'd still tune into to see or whatever, but that intrigue me. But that clip has just been rocket fire on my algorithm.
Yeah, not a good look. Match itself, they're setting up the match of Revolution. That should be fun. And like I said, later on, we had promos each from Hangman and MJF, and MJF revealed that he got his tattoo removed. Or no, that was the first. I think that was the first thing on AEW. I don't know. Anyways, no more AEW tattoo for MJF, which I thought was always a strategic place for him to put it, because he put it like on his low calf, so if he wore his boots, he can hide it if he were to go to a different company. But just get it taken off altogether. Then we had Swerve and Nana. They cut a promo. They called out Ricochet. That match is official for Revolution, but it's going to be a #1 contender match for the world title.
Ricochet should go over.
And then after the fact, Nana told Swerve that he really wants his row back or else, or he can't do this anymore. So maybe, I don't know if they're teasing a Nana heel turn or.
I'm sorry. Who's the AEW champion again?
That would be Jon Moxley.
That's right. Okay. So
yeah, I mean, it'd be hard for you to remember because we haven't seen the title in 6 months. But
you saw him cut the Roman Reigns promo. This is my show. This is my camera. This is my ring.
It's still, he's still champion for now. But yeah, I thought it was good. Ricochet, he's slowly, I think, finding his footing as a heel. So, yeah, match once again should be really good. And I do wonder what they're gonna do with Nana, Swerve, and that robe. They still haven't exactly spelled out why the robe is so special for Nana. Like they say, like, oh, it's basically they just make it seem like it's his robe, and they don't like explain that it's from one of his former clients who died, and the whole thing of like the backstory on that. And once again, AEW kind of making its audience kind of do its own research or know everything without
Yeah,
explaining it.
expecting you to know. That's one. That was one of the qualms I had with the company. You can't expect it. I didn't know that until right now. Like, you see what I'm saying?
So there you go. We got the Death Riders and Adam Copeland in a brawl. We
Not Danhausen.
we got another whatchamacallit concerto, this time on Claudio. Then we're going to get another concerto on Marina Shafir from Cope. But luckily, I guess, Willow came out and then did the concerto herself. So no man on woman violence, just woman on woman violence. That's okay, I guess. So Copeland is steadily picking off all the Death Riders, so presumably it'll be a one-on-one match at Revolution.
At Revolution.
At Revolution in Los Angeles, City of Angels.
Come on, baby.
Yeah, I mean, crowd was flat, and the concerto spot I think is it's definitely overused with Copeland, but I just think it gets zero heat in 2025 because everyone knows it's fake. Like, I just don't know why they keep going back to it, but
You gotta do it right.
they you can't. There's no way for you to do it. Either you do it right and you literally give someone a major concussion, or you do it right in terms of protecting the person, and everyone knows that person's completely fine. Did get a kick out of went to commercial, came back, and they had Harley Cameron making her entrance, and she's like the most fun-loving, bubbly person on the company, and yet they are doing a medical update on Marie Shafir and Claudio saying they could barely walk out of the ring. And I'm like, this was definitely not the right vibe for that announcement. But anyways, main event, Takeshita Shocker beats Orange Cassidy to retain the international title. So we will be getting Kenny Omega and Takeshita at Revolution
For the international title.
for the international title.
So can you make it up or what?
What?
Can you make it up or what?
I guess. I don't know. We will see Kenny Omega at the Oakland Arena Saturday, February 29th. So get your tickets now before they sell out, which they will not.
February 29th is what?
Or March 1st.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
There's no such thing as February 29th because I'm an idiot
I mean, there is on occasion.
sometimes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's gonna do it for the AEW talk. Before we get to the Elimination Chamber predictions, we're gonna hear Marlee's Elimination Chamber predictions.
Elimination Chamber is coming to us this Saturday, March 1st from Toronto, Ontario, Canada at the Rogers Centre. 4 matches on the card, men's and women's Elimination Chamber matches for Undisputed Championship and the Women's World Championship, respectfully, at Mania. Tiffany and Trish versus Nia and Candice in a tag team match. And we've got Sammy and Kevin in an unsanctioned match. And if I had to pick, I would have to go with Sami Zayn for the unsanctioned match. Granted, it's one of those matches where if either person won, I wouldn't be upset because I am a fan of both Kevin and Sammy, especially their Ring of Honor classics. But it would just, storyline-wise, make the most sense for Sammy to win because the only way I can see Kevin winning is if there was a title on the line. Not necessarily a title match between Sammy and Kevin, but just circling back to the feud with Cody, I feel like if there were championship implications going into Mania, that's where it would make the most sense for Kevin to win. But I don't know, I'm leaning towards Sami Zayn on this one. Feels like it just makes sense. There are just some outcomes that just make sense, and Sammy winning the unsanctioned match would just make the most sense. Then we've got Tiffany and Trish versus Nia and Candice, and I would argue Tiffany and Trish. You're not gonna let Trish lose in her home country, and based on how SmackDown has been going the past few weeks, Tiffany kind of needs a win going into Mania against Charlotte, of all people. Because you can't go into a Mania match with Charlotte Flair looking like a fool, essentially. So a win, especially a win with Trish Stratus, which I would argue surpasses Charlotte immensely, but that's just me. A win for Tiffany with Trish by her side would make her look good going into Mania. We've got the Elimination Chamber for the women: Liv, Bianca, Alexa, Bayley, Naomi, and Roxanne. And I would argue that Bianca and or Roxanne need this win. Alexa just came back. She's just getting back into the mix of things. Naomi would be a wild card win because it's been a minute since we've had a Naomi singles title run. Bayley, not that I don't think she's capable of winning. We just had a Bayley title run with the last year Mania. But we don't need Liv in Rhea chapter 287. Bianca, I want Bianca to win just so we can keep the Mania streak going, if we are going to keep that Mania streak going. And Roxanne, just because of how impressive she's been, not just in NXT. I would argue her entire career because, Roxy, but based on what I've seen, I haven't seen a lot of her NXT work outside of the pay-per-views, but based on what I've seen in the little bit of NXT that I've watched and just her Royal Rumble main roster performance, I would argue Roxanne would be a solid contender to win the Chamber. But for the Mania streak, I'm leaning a little more towards Bianca. And with the men's Elimination Chamber, I'm obviously going to root for my GOAT, CM Punk. It would be nice to have Cena win and go after number 17, but I feel like even though number 17 would be the cherry on top for his retirement tour, I feel like he can have a solid final run without winning the title. CM Punk has just never had a WrestleMania main event because I feel like that's why he has the most to gain. I think I said this when we were doing the Royal Rumble build. Like, he's never had a WrestleMania main event, so he's got the most to gain going into Mania, and winning the Elimination Chamber would just kind of emphasize that. But if I had to pick anyone besides CM Punk, I would pull the trigger on Seth Rollins. I definitely think that would deepen the story. Deepen is not the word I was thinking of, but it's the word that came to mind. But CM Punk or Seth winning the Chamber could snowball into so many outcomes going into Mania. Because I feel like Cena, he's getting guaranteed his Mania match regardless. Drew, I could see him winning, but I also can see him doing something else with Mania. I'm not even going to unpack Logan Paul. Damian Priest would be nice, but I feel like CM Punk or Seth Rollins would make the most sense going into the men's chamber. But final picks: CM Punk, Bianca Belair, Trish and Tiffany, and Sami Zayn.
All right, thank you, Marlee Mar. All right, Elimination Chamber. It is this Saturday, March 1st. A lot is going down. You're either going to be in the Oracle Arena if you live in the Bay to go watch some All Elite Wrestling, or you are going to be at your house, a bar, wherever, your friend's house, to watch some Elimination Chamber. Brandon, where are you watching Elimination Chamber?
Still up in the air. Debating if I want to go to Collision or not, because tickets are relatively cheap. But then I also just kind of would like to sit at my house and
You want to go to Collision?
drink beer, and I need to go sit in a box and wear my best Levi jeans and make sure I don't rip them. I need redemption.
in in front of children too. Yeah, let's not forget
Yeah,
that.
those children are not supposed to be there.
Yeah, they just walked into the box with that was weird. Yeah, I mean, it was one time I saw Edge and Sting wrestle, so boom, there it was. It was a good day. Oh, let's get into Elimination Chamber. Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. You think the Queen gets involved?
Maybe. This is kind of like the clearest depiction, I think, of Tiffany Stratton as a babyface. Um,
Yeah.
obvious obvious finish is Candice LeRae, losing to Tiffany. If you want to put over Tiffany a little stronger, you have her beat Nia Jax, but I think the obvious is the babyfaces win here.
Yeah, I think we do Nia and Trish at Mania.
I
If
mean,
Trish is sticking around that long.
I don't know about like a straight up singles match. Maybe you do like a
Why
tag
not?
match, or you do,
But they're already doing a tag match. Why can't you do a singles match?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't
I
know?
feel like that's a setup. That's set up for a disaster.
How?
Nia Jax, Trish Stratus singles match.
Nia's been doing some of the best work of her career. She can go out there with Trish Stratus.
Okay, everyone save the tape. And if we get a Trish Stratus Nia Jax match, we're gonna circle back when we do our WrestleMania recap, and we'll see how well this match went.
I mean, they don't got to go out there for hella long. They can go out there for 6 or 7 minutes. Like, gee, it doesn't have to be. Oh, you act like I'm saying they need to go put it on a 30-minute Broadway.
No, just 25. Double
Uh,
color.
okay, see, now you can do that in WWE 2K25 coming out in a couple days here. Let's talk about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn unsanctioned.
Excited for this match. I wonder what they're gonna do in terms of like, are they gonna brawl all over the stadium? Are they just gonna have like a straight up hardcore match? Is it gonna be double blood? Is it, how are they gonna frame it? Because like, in AEW they do the whole lights on, lights off gimmick, and it's pretty standard of what they do there. I don't know or remember the last time we've had an unsanctioned match in WWE, so I don't know how they're going to portray that.
2008, Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho.
Would not be shocked if this is like the first match on the card, but they also
Nah,
do.
you have to open with like the women's chamber.
Well, yeah, they always love to do that. Of like, the women's whatever gimmick match starts off the show, so maybe it's in between.
Yeah, I'd see this being like a semi main.
You know, maybe right after the Rock Cody promo, or maybe right before, because that has to be the main event.
The men's chamber will be the main event. Stop.
But
Stop.
I will say Kevin Owens wins, or we get like an inconclusive like double down finish, and then this leads to a match at WrestleMania.
Orton comes back, costs KO, and then we get a Orton KO in Mania.
Maybe, but then what does Sammy do?
Find something.
He'll figure it out. He's a big boy.
Yeah, doesn't he always? Let's talk about these chamber matches. By the way, we didn't talk about it. The Rock paid off the Bad Blood appearance.
Bye.
You know when he counted 1, 2, 3, he showed up on the third SmackDown of February. So
Oh yeah, that mastermind Rock right there.
yeah, come on now, big brain, big brain. I pay attention that deeply.
Hmm.
Out here. Women's Elimination Chamber, one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, Liv Morgan, former Tag Team Champion Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Bailey, former Tag Team Champion Naomi, and former NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez, all vying for an opportunity at the Women's World Championship for WrestleMania 41. I got Bianca. I think it's time for the EST to face Mommy.
Yeah, I kind of agree because like you just look and well, cart for the horse a little bit. They do have a match on Raw, but I think Rhea's gonna win that. So it's like, who can you see facing Rhea at WrestleMania? And I think it is like Bianca, Alexa, and then maybe Roxanne Perez, but like kind of a steep drop off after that. And they haven't really gone to the Bianca Belair well yet. And if she does turn heel, that would make sense. but it's still, it's kind of a quick turnaround to WrestleMania to get people to really boo Bianca and like get really behind Rhea, which is the hard part.
You don't have to do a heel baby face. It can be baby face, baby face.
I mean, you could, you definitely could, but then also it's like I think that's one of the bigger women's matches they can put on, and then they're just gonna have it thrown together, kind of with like an elimination chamber win, and then a month and a half worth to build.
That's
I
enough
don't know.
time. There's enough history there. They were the last two in the Royal Rumble that Bianca won. All this being champs and down at NXT, all that stuff. There's enough there. How we've always missed each other. There's enough there.
I think Alexa Bliss is kind of a strong second candidate, but if that was the plan, why wasn't she on Raw? Why is she on SmackDown right now? As much as that does mean anything, but
She got some
um,
Wyatt stuff going on.
yeah, every time she cuts a promos on screen, we get some like Wyatt glitches and stuff. So,
Remember the
and I would not want Rhea Ripley to get pulled into the Wyatt universe, so maybe that's for the best.
I think Mommy can handle that. Bro, did you see she hit her finisher on some fan at a store?
Yeah, put him through like all those boxes.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's random. All right, let's talk about the men's chambers for an opportunity at the undisputed WWE title. John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and Seth freaking Rollins. There's a couple things we can do here. Does Roman Reigns show up and cost Seth Rollins?
I mean, maybe. We got two SmackDowns advertised for Roman Reigns, so he's gonna be back.
Yeah, he will. Um, Logan Paul, don't know what he's doing at Mania. I could see, there. I've heard people say, "What if Drew was the corporate champion?" I mean that's not that far fetched. I think Cena pulls it out and he wins the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I think it does come down to either Cena, Punk, or Drew. And like a one-on-one match with either one of those, I think could reach the level of a WrestleMania main event. Logan Paul, kinda, maybe. I think Damian Priest and Seth Rollins are like clearly out of that picture. Are we still gonna maybe get the alleged triple threat with CM Punk and John Cena? I don't think so. Like you said, I think Drew is a perfect person to be, to take up the chosen one from The Rock and to go up against Cody like that. They haven't made too much of a big deal about CM Punk being at his first WrestleMania main event, but you can't like punt that down the road because with CM Punk, I just don't know if you can count on his body to be there, next year or the year after. So maybe you cash that check in right now and you can finally have him be the WrestleMania main event, or maybe he sells his soul to The Rock and the man who took away his WrestleMania main event is finally giving him one back. I don't know if we're going to tell that story, but at the end of the day, I agree. I think the whole plan from the beginning was Cena, it seems like, and I don't think they're going to mess that up. There might be some, it might be a different road to get to the final destination, but we're still going to get Cena and Cody. And so I'll pick Cena as well.
All right. I mean, there's just so much here in this one chamber match alone. I mean, you have the history with Cena and CM Punk. You have the Punk's rivalry with Drew, the hatred for Seth, and vice versa with those guys. Damian Priest took the title off of Drew McIntyre. What you call it? Logan Paul is kind of just there while all this other stuff is going on. So there's a lot to unpack, man.
Yeah, even though, Priest and Rollins, I don't think have any chance of winning it, it still should be a really good match. And as much as the Elimination Chamber, I think they've kind of softened it in terms of, the brutality, which is probably the best because we don't want people getting hurt, especially so close to WrestleMania. It should still be a solid story told and should be a intriguing match nonetheless.
Yeah, Logan Paul's here to do the crazy spot in the chamber.
Exactly. And Priest and McIntyre, the big guys. It could be bases, and Seth, maybe can do one crazy thing because he still wants to do that stuff, then there's going to be CM Punk and John Cena just kind of there doing their own thing because they don't want to get hurt.
Mm, I see. I see. Well, is that going to do it?
I guess that'll do it. Everyone, shout out. Hopefully you have fun wherever you're doing on Saturday, whether you're watching the Chamber, watching Collision, watching some other local indie show, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I don't think there's any indies going on this weekend. I think it's an indie free weekend, which is rare, very rare. Yeah, next weekend the indies are going to be popping though. But other than that, thank you guys so much. As always, be safe and stay dangerous. Try to get an Elimination Chamber recap done before the next episode. We'll try to make that happen. All right, guys. As always, be safe and stay dangerous.
No matter how hard I fall, I'll get back up on my feet. Red alert, this is gonna hurt. When your face is in the dirt, you'll know your death is what I seek. We are the elite, and